Good evening, YouTube. Welcome in. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. Thank you for joining. Welcome into the live viewers, replay viewers, friends, and family. Thank you so much for coming on in to YouTube tonight for a very solemn evening for Catholics throughout the world. Catholics throughout the world, this is a very holy time for all of us. Hello, Ryan. Good to see you. First one in, Ryan Richardson. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Hi, Patty. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys all coming on in. Thanks for joining the stream. Great to see you. Hi, Janice. Good to see you. Hi, Paper Angel. Very sad. Very sad. So a conversation that we need to try to have here and speak about. I've done some research. In regards to this situation. I will give you hello, Andrea. Good to see you. Janice, thanks for joining. Paper Angel, good to see you. Sarah, Crystal, Janet, Hinsdale Girl, Jen B, Jigsaw Puzzler, Patty, Red Like Wine. Thank you so much for coming in. So a very, very sad, solemn day for Catholics throughout the world. Catholics throughout the world are mourning a very, very sentimental, very loving place for worship that has been destroyed by fire. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to wait for a couple more people to come on in. We'll wait for some more people to come on in. I'm waiting for Joey 67, Joey Brooklyn 67, and a couple of more mods to come on in. Hello, Michelle, Hinsdale Girl, Michelle Vogel. Hello, Sue. Good to see you. Thank you, Sue Jansky, for coming on in and keep on fighting that good fight. Good to see you, Kelly. Very horrible fire. So I've done my homework in regards to this. I've done a little bit of research, and some of the things that I've come up with in some of my research are a little disturbing. Now, we do have a structure that's from 800 years ago, or whatever the case may be. It goes back to the 13th, 16th century. All constructed out of wood, is under construction for refurbishing at this time. But the amount of fire that I saw, the amount of fire, and in the different locations, this was not, in my eyes, something like a simple accident. So I'm looking at the big picture here. Hello, Erin. Good to see you. Hi, Janet. TTNZ. Good to see you. Welcome in to all my friends and family of Dutyron. Thank you for coming in, guys. If you don't mind, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Dutyron, and check out all things social media. I do have my own website, dutyron.com, where you can get updates on everything social media for Dutyron. Great to see you, Violet. Thank you for those kind words. So these are my opinions. These are not facts. This is not, don't take my opinions on what I'm saying here tonight. This is not anything written in stone, but however, this is my quick investigation that I did with incidents that have been going on in France. Let me digress here. So I wanted to look and see if there was any crimes against churches in France over the past 365 days. And what I noticed is that there has been a surge since the first of the year. Hello, Ryan. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Hello, Tori. Good to see you, Tori Hartman. Absolutely very sad. Guys, everyone go and subscribe to Tori Hartman's page. Do not neglect some good content that she puts out there. Don't shortchange yourself. Go and check out her channel and subscribe to her. She's kind, she's smart, and she knows what she's talking about. So great to see everybody. So what I did was I looked at some of the incidents that have been happening, and over the last 3 to 4 months, since the first of the year, as a matter of fact, there's been double digits in churches that have been vandalized in France. Fires being set, altars being desecrated, and Catholic church churches are under attack in France. This is fact. This is not what I'm just saying. I'm not just talking about this. This is true. There has been double-digit attacks on the Catholic Church in France since the 1st of January alone. I'm not even talking about 365 days ago, because there's more to this. It gets worse. This story gets worse, people. I do have a P.O. Tori Hartman, do you have Ron? She has my P.O. box. She has it. So this story gets a little worse the more I look into it. The more I look into it, it gets worse, guys. So the Catholic Church is under attack in France. The French government has not been able to put their fingers on it, but I'm gonna play a couple of clips for you guys, just so you could see about what's been going on in France. So stand by. Do me a favor before I do that. Invite onto your social media. If you have a following here on YouTube, if you have people who subscribe to you on YouTube, create a community post for me, please. Create a community post, because that's what I do when I go into other people's broadcasts and live streams. I create a post and I send it out to all of my following and all the people who subscribe to me. I do that because I am sharing information that I feel is important. This information is coming from me, a retired New York City police detective. I have done hours worth of research since this story broke. I did have a hot water heater go bad on me today, but that doesn't stop me from doing my investigations. The hot water heater is something that could get fixed and is going to be fixed tomorrow. But hello Angie Payne, good to see you. Thank you, Paper Angel, I appreciate that. So I still did my due diligence on this. I've done a few hours on and off research in regards to this, and what I've come up with is that the Catholic Church and Catholic houses of worship are under attack in France at an alarming rate since January 1st of 2019. And I'm going to show you some video, I'm going to show you some newspaper clippings and some articles that's going to prove that to you. And you guys are going to I'm just going to ask you to pay attention. If you're interested in this, it's going to, this is going to be something that you're going to have to pay close attention to. So let me play a couple of news clips of the actual incident of the fire right now, and I'll let you guys see what's going on and what's being reported. So why in France and why in 2019? The French government, the powers that be, do not have answers. These are questions that were put to them, and they still do not have any answers as to why the vandalization has been taking place. There's been mention that ISIS-type groups, the Islamic State, these are Muslim extremists, not our good Muslim brothers and sisters who practice their religion without trying to be extreme about it, because there's a big difference between an extremist Muslim, Islamic extremist, and an Islamic Muslim worshiper. There's two big differences, guys. Two big differences. So before I get into that, let's watch the clip that I chose here. I chose a few clips to show you guys. Let me know if the audio is good on it. Let me know if the audio is good, guys. Please.
Western edition, we begin tonight in Paris, where one of the world's most historic landmarks is burning. A devastating fire has swept through Notre Dame. The cathedral, visited by 13 million people a year, took almost 2 centuries to build, starting in 1163. Today, flames brought much of it down in hours, including 2/3 of the roof. The entire island Notre Dame sits on has been evacuated. At least one firefighter suffered serious injuries. After flames toppled the steeple, French President Macron said, "Part of us is burning." He vows to rebuild. We have 2 reports tonight, beginning with Roxana Saberi in Paris.
Sirens and shock swept through the heart of the French capital.
Look at the size of that fire, people. That is not some
Smoke billowing
accident
from
in my
Notre Dame
eyes.
Cathedral could
That's
be
in my
seen across
professional
the city
opinion.
as the great spire of one of the world's most recognizable landmarks went up in flames. The blaze spread up the steeple, seemingly untouched by the fire hoses working below. 400 firefighters battled flames more than 200 feet above ground, with no water drops from the air. The added weight might have flattened the entire building.
It's not really a tool that urban fire departments have in their belts. When you see those water drops being done on forest fires and things of that nature, they're trying to hit a broad swath of area with a lot of water. You had a lot of things working against the firefighters here. So many things were working against them that sometimes when you pull up on the scene of a fire, the die is already cast before you can even go to work.
As crowds gathered on the sidewalk, the iconic spire collapsed inside the cathedral. Over the hours, one of the most visited sites in Paris was reduced to a charred skeleton. A cathedral spokesperson said the entire interior was burning.
Notre Dame is not just a building, it's the beating heart of Paris, and seeing it like an open heart on the medical table, it's heartbreaking.
Notre Dame has towered over Paris for 8 centuries, and renovations were underway to shore up its crumbling structure. We had a rare look last year at the disrepair.
Here, what the wooden railing which has been put to replace the original railing which was here.
Years of rain, snow, and pollution were eroding the flying buttresses that prop the cathedral up. Therefore, there's a risk to the whole cathedral
exactly.
falling
I'll
down.
take a peek at it in a minute, Sue.
Authorities are now looking into whether those refurbishments may have caused the fire, as the city mourns the loss of one of its greatest symbols. And some good news, Jeff. Authorities here now believe they've been able to save the cathedral's 2 iconic towers behind me. The fire happened close to closing time when most of the cathedral's 30,000 daily visitors had already left, so it could have been much worse. Jeff?
Interesting thing to keep in mind, but good they saved part of it there. Roxana, thank you very much.
All right, guys, that's one of the things I want to show you. Okay, I'm not going to play anything here. I'm not going to play this, guys. Let me just show this article real quick. Okay, now this comes from the Express. It's the home of the Daily Sunday Express, and this is from the UK. I believe this is a daily paper from over in the UK. Anger as France sees 10 Catholic churches attacked in 1 week. God will forgive, not me. A 7-day spree of vandalism has seen Catholic churches targeted across France, sparking fears of a fresh wave of anti-Christian sentiment in the country, including one church being defiled with human excrement. That means they smashed human excrement all over the church. At least 10 incidents of vandalism and desecration of Catholic churches have been reported across the channel since the beginning of February. French Roman Catholic newspaper International reports how the attacks on the churches took place across France. Senseless acts, including the desecration of altars, the facing of Christ on the cross, and in an extreme case, human excrement being spread across the walls of a holy place of worship. According to the outlet, one of the first attacks was on February 4th, 2019 at St. Nicholas Catholic Church in Houlis, where a statue of the Virgin Mary was found smashed on the ground. The same church also had an altar cross thrown to the ground and celebrants' chairs were damaged. On February 5th, the next day, the altar cloth at the same church was found burned and crosses and statues torn down and disfigured. Here's proof. Here's proof in the local newspapers over there on the other side, giving complete incidents, and it goes on. I'm not going to continue to read, but I implore you guys to go and educate yourselves and look at what's being reported. These are not staged acts. These are acts of terror against the Catholic Church. You know, these are intentional attacks on the church. And it goes on and tells you right on a day later, on February 9th, a similar attack at the Church of Notre Dame in Paris. So there was an attack at the church, at this very church, that was burnt down. According to Notre Dame's father, Emmanuel Pick, believes the vandals wanted to show anger towards the heart of the Catholic faith, as nothing of monetary value was stolen. So they were just damaging the insides of the church. And in certain instances, there were fires. There were fires, guys. Okay, I'm going to highlight this one part of this story right here. In red, highlighted in right there, in red. I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says right here, in another week in France, 5 additional degraded churches were desecrated. Such acts shock me and must be unanimously condemned. I will tell the bishops of France at the meeting of the Forum of Dialogue of Catholic Church, the fresh new waves of attack come 2 years as a campaign of Christian persecution against Catholic churches across France and Belgium that begun in 2016. So in 2016, I don't know if you guys are all aware of it, but I was aware of this, and it just refreshed my memory. In 2016, there was an attack and persecution against Catholic churches across France and Belgium. The incidents were said to be carried out by the Islamic State, ISIS. I have it highlighted in red. You guys might not be able to see it. So according to this newspaper here, they're saying that these Islamic terrorists, the extremists, were said to be behind the persecutions carried out in France and Belgium in 2016. So one of the most gruesome attacks included the murder of Father Jacques Hamel, who was killed by jihadists while holding mass at a church in Normandy. So these are documented pieces of reported news. Okay, so here's another one in Newsweek, guys. Catholic churches are being desecrated across France. This was February 21st. This news report that I have up on the screen is from Newsweek. I'm talking about extremists. I'm not talking about all Muslims. So let me get this straight, guys. Guys, let's get this straight. We're not talking about the peaceful, good Muslims throughout the world. I'm talking about extreme Islamic Muslim, the extremists, guys. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. We're not speaking about our good Muslim brothers who are out there peacefully going with their religion, peacefully praying, peacefully praying to their God. But here we are in Newsweek on March 22nd. March 22nd, 2019 is this story. Catholic churches are being desecrated across France and officials do not know why. I'll highlight that so you guys can see that. Okay, there it is, highlighted in blue. Okay, it'll go on to say, France has seen a spat of attacks against Catholic churches since the start of the new year. Vandalism that has included arson and desecration. Vandals have smashed statues, knocked down tabernacles, scattered or destroyed Eucharists, and torn down crosses. Last Sunday at the historic church in Paris, it was set on fire after a midday mass, Sunday. So midday mass, they went in there and burned one of the churches in France. So for me, guys, this is telling me that there is a serious. Here's a little Twitter feed. It's just a repeating Twitter feed. Here we go. That's a church that caught fire while people were in there praying. There are many in here in chat making remarks about Muslims that are inappropriate. Guys, I'm going to ask you to refrain from those type of comments. I'm going to ask you to refrain from those type of comments. And I'm going to review the chat. And if I see anything in the chat that's inappropriate, we're not targeting anybody here. We're just having a conversation, guys. We're having a conversation, and I'm reading to you some of the reports from over in France that are coming out. So I'm going to ask you guys to refrain from that type of behavior at this point. And if I see it and it's pointed out to me, if I see it and it's pointed out to me, I will block you, and you won't have access to my channel anymore. So that being said, let's continue on, and everybody please be respectful. Let's not point fingers. I'm talking about what's being reported in the news, and that's what's going on here and now. We're speaking about current events and what has been the climate over in France since the first of the year. And since the first of the year, it seems like things are not going well towards the Catholic Church since the first of the year. I agree, Sonia. I agree, Sonia. That's coming from extremists, though. So let's grab a hold of ourselves, guys, and realize. I'm not sure, Ryan. I'm not sure. It's too early. And I'm not pointing fingers at any particular group or anything. I'm just talking about what I've observed, what's going on, what's been going on, and what's being reported. Here's the Catholic Pulse, guys. This is a Catholic Pulse newspaper right here. Vandals and arsonists target French Catholic churches. So here's a third article. I hear you, Paper Angel. I hear you. Terrorists and extremists. So here's a third paper. This was March 28th. This Catholic news service was published March 28th, way before this incident took place. A firefighter is seen as flames shoot through the front door of Saint Sulpice Church in Paris on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. In the still image taken from social media, vandals and arsonists have targeted French churches in a wave of attacks that have lasted nearly 2 months. Okay, guys, I'm going to read that again. Right here on our screen, this picture. This is what I'm reading. Right below here, right below this burning front door, it says a firefighter is seen as flames shoot through the front door of Saint Sulpice Church in Paris on March 17, 2019. It's a still image taken from social media. Vandals and arsonists have targeted French churches in a wave of attacks that has lasted nearly 2 months. Now, guys, I'm going to come back on. I'm going to come back on because I want to reel everybody in. I want to reel you guys in. Okay? So, guys, arson is specific. Arson is an intentional burning of a location, intentional burning of a building, a door. If you just light a match to a door and it catches fire, or if it even just chars it, that's arson. So arson is a specific crime of lighting a match and lighting something to fire. Okay, so that's here in America. I don't know what constitutes arson in France or in another country, but I can tell you here in the United States that constitutes arson. But why I came back on is I'm going to tell you guys again. If anybody makes any more derogatory comments, first of all, I'm going to look back. And then going forward right now, I'm looking at the chat. And if I see it, I am going to block you. Do not make racist or nasty comments towards a particular group. I'm reporting and I'm talking to you guys about what current events and the climate that's going on in France here and now and today. So the climate that's going on in France since January 1st of 2019, which is well documented, is that churches are being targeted by arsonists, by vandals, and the French authorities have no explanation of who they are, Nobody's been placed under arrest according to the newspaper and reports. There's no reports of any arrests. I will talk to our friend Naboul, who lives in France, tomorrow because it's early, it's overnight right now. I'm going to talk to Naboul on the phone tomorrow, and I'm going to get right from him a little bit of more information about if he knows anything about this, because he lives there. But from what I've read and researched is that churches are on attack. Catholic churches are under attack since January 1st at an alarming rate. We read the article together, okay? So if we see Notre Dame blazing on fire, the whole entire church was engulfed in fire, that tells me, as somebody with a good, I can reason very well. I'm also a retired detective, so I know about when something smells fishy. To me, I talk about it, and this smells fishy to me. I don't care what the news is reporting. I don't care what the media is saying. I don't care what's being reported right now. This stinks. This total stinks. And as Tori would say, the truth bumps are coming out. I will have to tell you that I would bet my pension on it that this is not an accident. This was not accidental. Look at everything that has led up to this. All those church vandalisms and arsons since January. Is it just shocking that on the most holiest week in the Catholic religion, you have the most coveted, the oldest church, house of worship, cathedral, institution? There is so much deep, rich history in that cathedral in Notre Dame that it is that is a terrorist. They salivate to try to take that building down. And you could get mad at me all you want, but the bottom line is that's the truth. That they want to take Christianity and wipe it off the face of the earth. The extremists. I'm not talking about all Muslims. I'm talking about the Muslim extremists. Their idea is to wipe out Christianity. And whether you like that or not, that's the truth. But whoever is responsible for this, they need to be brought to justice, and they need to be taken out and put in jail. Okay, taken out and put into jail. Now, you may or may not agree with what I'm saying, but this is my broadcast, and I would consider this a hate crime. Yes, Tori, it's a hate crime towards a specific religion. If that was a mosque that was burned down in France, you could bet your bottom dollar that people would get to the bottom of it, and it would be on the national stage, just as this should be and will be. So, so at the end of the day, guys, like what I'm saying or not, that is the truth. That is what's being reported. There is a rise. There is a rise against the Catholic houses of worship in France since the first of the year. There's no sugarcoating that. There's no way to get around it. There's no sidestepping it. There's no saying, oh, well, listen, this could have been an accident, but if you're asking me, Dutyron, do you think this was an accident? I'm going to tell you, it damn sure isn't. It damn sure isn't. If you're asking me what I think, that is not an accident. That is not a construction accident. And it was too huge of a fire and too huge of a coincidence that this is taking place. Easter is this Sunday coming up. Okay? It's the most holy week in the Catholic religion. I agree with you, Tori. This feels, looks, and seems planned. And I can't overemphasize how strongly I feel about that. And when I feel strongly about something, I'm very vocal about it. So this has gotten the hairs on my arms standing up, the hair on the back of my neck, which I have very little because I shave it. It is all standing up. The little stubbles that I have there are standing up. At the end of the day, Frank, and all of my friends here, we can always agree to disagree. And I'm not saying that this is written in stone and you have to agree with me. You guys are all entitled to your own opinions, but you're hearing it right here on my channel. This is not an accident. This is not a construction accident, and if it is, then I'm gonna, you know, you can put a sock in my mouth. But I really feel with all of everything that's surrounding this, all of the evidence that has come out that I've unearthed through a very small search. I'm going to do some more deeper research during the course of the week, but we're going to see stuff is going to come out. You're going to see things are going to come out in the news, and things are going to come to light as the days follow. I don't know about the French authorities and how they do their investigations, but I hope and pray that they do a very, very strong investigation, and that if there's any foul play here, for them to bring these people to justice. But I don't see or hear of one arrest in all of the double-digit crimes against the Catholic Church that have occurred since January 1. Not one arrest have I read about in any of those church vandalisms, which includes arson and fire. I hope it was an accident too, little dove. I hope and pray. But my intuition and my investigative skills that I possess. Now, don't forget, I've made over 1,000 arrests over the course of my career as a New York City police officer. I've placed people in handcuffs over 1,000 times. So I know I have a good feel for when something is not smelling right and when something is. And I've been involved in making arrests in church vandalism on very small, a much smaller level than this. You know, perpetrators stealing from the poor box, the donation boxes where you leave donations when you light candles and offerings. I've made countless arrests of people, and most of the times they're either drug addicts or you know, homeless people who have no means of income, and they target a church and steal from the church. But I've made many house of worship arrests. But this fire, the enormity of this fire, and everything that stood around, everything that has stood around the events leading up to this fire, had I not read these news articles, people, then I probably wouldn't be speaking to you about this. Had I not read this article dated March 28th, that the Catholic churches are being targeted at an alarming rate. Had I not read an article like this, Little Dove, thank you. Katina, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Had I not read this article in Catholic Churches Daily, you know, I might have said, you know, there's a chance. Let's see if this is just an accident. You know what I mean? What did he have to say, Dylan? What did he have to say? What did the fire commissioner say? Mima, it's too early for that, Mima. You know, I'm not going to start running all kinds of speculations. But what we have here is a massive fire at a house of worship that's been in existence for over 800 years. Okay, up until this point, there's never been any fires or vandalisms going on at Notre Dame. So this is a first of its kind, and you know, at the end of the day, we have to look at what's in front of us. All of the speculation about anything else other than vandalism and a fire created by somebody who was intentional, that we had intent, guys, are 850. Thank you. Thanks for that correction. Anything other than a fire that was set with intent, because of the previous incidents and the double digits of attacks on the Catholic Church, is just really going way outside the box. Way outside the box. And to talk about anything else, to me, in my eyes, does not make any sense. Because as an investigator, as a seasoned detective, I say you look at what the patterns are. And the crime pattern for France has been attacks. at an alarming rate since January 1st on Catholic institutions. Okay, there's no blame, 850 Walsh. This is the first time I'm seeing you, so I don't even know who you are, but there's no blame. And if you've been listening, there's no blame. But what I'm saying is the possibility of arson is very high, and intent is very high. So at the end of the day, guys, this is in my eyes and what I'm feeling. There you go, 850. What I'm feeling is this is not an accident. This is not a construction accident. I don't know what kind of accelerant a construction crew can have to create such a massive fire. I get that it's built out of primarily wood and it's old, everything is old, but the amount of fire that I saw there and the amount of places where it was to left and right and in the center, the amount that I saw was just not right. It didn't look right. So, guys, I'm going to look at the comments now and I'll take any questions. If you guys have any questions, Q&A, if you guys want to send questions, I encourage you to send questions, but please don't, take this outside of what we're talking about. Let's not, don't send me questions that have nothing to do with this. So, yes, exactly. There you go, Atacor. There you go. It's unknown to me, Girly Gamer, what type of surveillance they have over there in France. I don't know, but I'm hoping that they have good stuff there, but I don't know. Similar, Tommy, similar. There you go, Matt. Yeah, it is sketchy. It's sketchy. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that we'll get. We will get the truth out of the French government. I feel that we will get the truth out of the French government. At least I want to say that. I want to feel like we will. And what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to talk to Naboul tomorrow, and I'm going to get him on the phone, and we're going to speak about this with me. He's my friend, so he's going to tell me what he feels. I value his opinion, and I trust him. And Naboul is a Muslim. Guys, just so you know, his religion, his faith, he is a Muslim. And I love and respect Naboul. So I want you guys to know that, for anybody who has made comments in the past during the time of this broadcast, I have many friends who are of many different faiths. And many different faiths. But Naboul is a Muslim. And I love him and I respect him. I had a meal with him. I sat down and had lunch with him in Brooklyn with Dutch Mass and Joey. So, doesn't matter. As long as you're not an extremist on the Catholic side, an extremist on the Judaism side, an extremist on the Christian and Muslim side, if you're not an extremist, then I respect your religion, I don't respect religions where they want to wipe out everybody other than themselves. I have a big problem with that. And you should too. You should too. You should have a problem with any religion that says if you don't practice my religion, I want to cut your head off. I want to kill you. If you are okay with that, then you should rethink yourself. Okay? So at the same time, guys, we have to look at this the right way. Extremists of any religion is no good. I can't force my Catholic religion onto a Jew or Jehovah's Witness or a Muslim. It's not right. Okay? I have to respect it. Okay? So, our president is offering help, and that is the right thing to do. United States of America helps any country that has a situation going on, and that's the right thing to do. Okay? Hi, Karen. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Caitlin. Good to see you. Thank you for agreeing. So, at the end of the day, people, ladies and gentlemen, I will have a conversation with Naboul tomorrow, and I will get the inside scoop, and I will speak to him openly about what's going on. And I'm hoping, and I know that I will get whatever he knows, whatever knowledge Naboul has about what's going on in France, he's going to tell me because he's my friend and I trust him. I love and respect him and his family. So, guys, please understand that I am not trying to say that this was done by any extremist group, but I'm saying what's been reported is that there's been a history of this type of behavior by a certain sect of extremists. Now, that being said, that's the truth, guys. That is the truth. That is what's out there. That is not anything made up. That is the truth. So you guys have to take it for what it's worth, and you have to understand and process what is going on, you know? And we will find out in the days to come, in the days to follow, we'll find out from the French authorities on what is or isn't going on. And we can, as Americans and as people throughout the world, we can say, well, I buy that story, or I understand it, or I don't, you know? But it's up to the French government and the authorities in Paris to do their due diligence and do their investigation. And I have confidence in them that, you know, they're on the national stage, guys, and everybody is watching them. The whole world is watching them. So I'm hoping, you know, I'm hoping that that they do the right thing. Any extremist of a political party, any extremist period, Trevor, I mean, everybody gets my message, I would hope. Everybody gets my message. Fire officials and experts will comment on the color and the intensity of fire and smoke. I don't know anything about the expertise of fire and what should look like, what it shouldn't. It doesn't matter to me. What I see in front of my eyes is a heinous fire that was not an accident in my eyes. It was not an accident. Hi, Jenny Jones. Hello, Tommy Gunn. Thank you for joining. Guys, I appreciate you guys being in here. Like I said, I am going to re-review the chat, and anything that I deem inappropriate will be removed, and you will be blocked from any content and any kind of interaction on my channel. And if you don't mind about that, then fire away. But I run a respectable channel here, and I don't want people pointing fingers at anybody in particular or saying anything mean about a particular group. But you know, like I said, I've already expressed my opinions and my feelings about anybody who is in an extremist type group. I have no patience for that. I watched my World Trade Center crumble in front of my eyes. I watched men and women perish in the attacks on 9/11, and those attacks on our nation on September 11th were carried out by extremists, and I have no patience for it. I have no room in my world or my life. They took a lot of great men and women who were just going to work that day to do their jobs. My own cousin, my first cousin, was killed and pulverized in the World Trade Center. We never recovered his body. His wife sent him to work at 28 years old. He was 30, she was 28 with 2 kids. She sent him to work and he never came home. And we never brought home his body. So I have a real big problem with people who want to obliterate everybody but themselves. It's a big problem. And I fight against evil, guys. I fight against evil. And I've lost too many friends to 9/11 World Trade Center related health issues. So at the end of the day, guys, you know, we need to be able to coexist with all faiths, religions, sexual orientations, political parties without killing each other. And that's what it's all about. So I am about peace and positivity, and I try to understand everybody's religion, everybody's faith, everybody's way of life. I have neighbors here from Ireland. I've got neighbors from India on my block. I've got neighbors from Italy. I've got people from all over the world living on my block here, and I love and respect my neighbors. I love and respect everybody. The Mets won. Excellent, Joey. Thank you. So guys, let me create a post. I got so excited to speak about this, I didn't even create a post. I didn't even share my post. I got so wrapped up in this that I didn't even get a chance to share. So I'm going to do that right now. Guys, if you don't mind, please invite onto your social media. If you're new in here, let me know where you're watching from, your city and your state. I'll give you a shout out. And if you're outside the country, outside the US, let me know where you're watching from so I can give you a shout out on your city, state, or your country. Hi, Dutyron. On for a bit. Terrible about France. I agree, Nancy. Thank you. Lisa1111, thank you for coming in. Thank you, Crash 1969-1. It is very upsetting to all of us. It should be upsetting to all faiths throughout the world, not just Catholics and Christianity. Welcome in, Laura from Portland, Oregon. Thank you for joining. Hello, Sarah K from Wisconsin, the cheese state. Wisconsin, the cheese state. Good to see you. Thank you. Winky, thank you for moderating. Andrea, thank you for moderating the chat. I greatly appreciate that. It's always a pleasure to have great people in here. Rick, Huntington, Indiana, just south of Fort Wayne, 65 north of Indy. Excellent. Good to see you, Rick. Thank you so much for coming in. There you go, 850. I don't buy any story until I find out the facts. Let me scroll back. Even with the slow chat, it's going fast. Linda Cormier, everyone hit the like button. Thank you so much for that. Louisiana, 40 miles south of New Orleans. Good to see you, Red Like Wine. Thank you for coming in. Santa Fe, Texas, says Miranda writes. Thank you. 600 years, no fire. In 2019, there's a fire. What a shame. I agree, Joey. I agree. Thank you for putting up the links. Quebec, Canada, good to see you. Thank you for coming in, PC. Off to bed, cardio in the morning. You're doing a heck of a job, Sue. Keep up the great work. I'm watching you kick butt with your trainer, and I'm so proud of you, and I love what you're doing. Love and respect right back to you, Andrea. Love and respect. Agreed, Crystal Hart. It's a shame. It's a shame. Good to see you, Veggie Vibes. Welcome in, Hio from Boston, Massachusetts. They were trying to save, I understand they saved a lot of stuff, Cindy Farwick. They saved a lot of stuff. Love and respect, Bridget from Australia. Right back to you from New York City. Janet, thank you for all of those emojis. So very sad to see something survive 850 years and go up in flames. CM, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Or sister. I think it was sister. But brother or sister, I'm with you 100%. It's so amazing to learn where everyone's from. I love it. Statues were removed. I have a video of that, guys. I have a video of that. Love and respect to each and every one of you. If I missed any super chat, Amanda Love, welcome in from Nashville. Tennessee is a great state. I saw a quick live, had to shut it. I got so emotional. I understand, Lee. I understand, Lee, 100%. Amen. Dylan, good to see you, Duty Blue. Thank you for all your help earlier on the moderating. Duty Blue, I really appreciate you. Thanks, Sully. Amen to you, too. Thanks for the broadcast. We have to stay aware. The news media will not tell the truth. The news media will give you what they want to get out there. They will sensationalize it, but they will put out mistruths, that's for sure. I have many cousins that are Catholic. There you go, Sarah. My whole family's Catholic. Hey, Judy Ryan, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Thank you, thank you. Joey is getting close to 1,000. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Joey, BKLYN_67, please check out my friend. Duty Ryan, good to see you. Thank you for reporting for your tour of duty. Let's see. Everybody go subscribe to Joey, BKLYN_67, and Auntie Lane, that's Anemone Lane. Go subscribe to her channel. She's doing some hard work on her channel. Hello, Kitty Bloom from Scotland. Good to see you, Scotland. Does anybody want to see the video again of the church? Or I think we'll agree that we've all seen enough of this. Nancy, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I hope that it isn't, but I'm not going to leave that out of the equation. I'm not going to say yes or no to that, but I do feel that there could be some type of something going on here. So let me just say I'm using caution because it's too early to say, but I would, if you're asking me my opinion, I feel that I feel that it could be a chance. There could be a chance. So I wouldn't rule anything out, is what I'll say. So trying to grow my channel as well. Starlight True Crime wants to grow her channel. She's always in on my lives. I appreciate you guys. Oh, go over and check out Starlight True Crime. She puts a lot of work. Let me just say something about Starlight True Crime. She puts a lot of work into her lives. She puts a lot more work than I do into my lives. What I have going for me on my lives is that I am retired from the police department. I'm a retired investigator, NYPD detective, and I use Streamlabs, and I do a little bit of planning of my lives. I do a lot of research before I talk about a subject, and I want to know all the ins and outs of the subject that I go live with. So if I could give any tips to anybody that's doing live streaming on YouTube, just have your facts straight, give the best information that you can, and don't give out a lot of fluff. People love fluff, but at the end of the day, fluff is not good. Fluff is not good, guys. Good night, Sue. Thank you so much for coming in. Love and respect to you. Hitting the hay from Sue Dorian. Thank you for spending time. Thank you for liking my channel, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. So put out good information. Prepare for what you're going to go live with. All of the fluff, although it looks good, like this this detective sign here, and my tip cup right here. Where is it? The tip cup right here. All of this stuff, people really don't care about it. You know, it's there. It's nice to see. But at the end of the day, giving out good information and good data is what it's all about. So if you're doing crime stuff, or if you're talking about a particular subject, make sure you do a little research on it. Make sure you have some facts on what you're talking about, and get yourself prepared. Now, Auntie Lane does that. She does her due diligence. So I like that what she does. I respect her. She does put a lot of work into what she does, and she takes time to research the things. So it's good. So check out Joey Brooklyn, Joey BKLYN _67. Go check out my good friend Dave in Osaka from Osaka, Japan. Subscribe to Naboul in the south of France. So go and subscribe to Dutch Maz, Trevor JP, my good friend Eddie Fratz, and all of the people who are trying to grow their channel organically and make comments on their videos. Interact. Don't just subscribe to people just to subscribe, because it doesn't help with the algorithm. If you subscribe to somebody, go and watch their content. Interact with them. Because if you just subscribe to them and you don't interact, you're going to be like deemed like a bot on their channel, because YouTube cleans up people's subscribers list. If nobody's interacting with you and they're in your subscriber list, YouTube will eventually get rid of it. They'll eventually get rid of those accounts. So if you subscribe to somebody, go and check out their channels, look at their content, and if you don't like what they're doing, or if you're not interested in what they're talking about, then don't subscribe to them, because it's a waste. It's a waste. Your account winds up getting taken off of their follow list if you don't go and check out some of the things that they do. So it's just a tip, guys. It's just a tip from me. Just a tip from me to you. So there you go. Auntie Lane, you do a great job, and anytime I come into your chat, into your channel, I have a good time. You know, I have a really good time when I'm coming into your channel, and I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it. So for me, it's a lot of fun to come in there and see somebody with passion talking about a subject. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, guys. Yes, Atacor, if you randomly subscribe to 100 people and you never go and check out their channel, in a short period of time, YouTube's algorithm will pick up and it will go through their following list, and they'll say, oh, Atacor 21 subscribed 7 months ago, or 5 months ago, or 2 months ago, and hasn't once clicked on a video or made a comment. And they'll make it like you're a bot, and they'll get rid of it. They'll bounce you off their channel. So that's the truth, guys. And now let me also say something else. Okay, for those of you who want to go live, and don't have the 1,000 subscribers. Here it is again. Jerusalem's Al-Qaeda mosque burns at the same time as fire engulfs Notre Dame. Okay, that's huge right there. That's huge, Dylan. Now, where did you see that? Dylan, where did you see that? I'm going to wait for Duty Blue to answer that. I'm going to start Googling that. Okay, I'm going to look for it right now. Hold on, I gotta see this. I gotta see this. Oh my God. Wow. I see it, Dylan. Hi, guys. Let me just take a peek at this. Let's see what this is saying. Right, this is in Arabic. It's just a Twitter feed. Okay, guys. Yeah, so that's interesting. Wow. I'm gonna have to look into that. I need some more time to prepare for this. So I need some time for this. That's unbelievable. Wow. Okay, so let me just see something. April 15th, 1912, not to be conspirative, but interesting. Interesting fact, Titanic went down. That's just a coincidence there. Very sad. Many people lost their lives in the Titanic. So not to take away from that, but yeah. So Katina, good to see you. Thank you for subscribing to Starlight True Crime. Just subscribe. Thank you for that, Katina. So again, guys, let me get this back. Let me get this off of here. Hold on a second. So here's what's reported in Newsweek. Here's Newsweek right here, guys. It says this was April 15th today at 4:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Jerusalem's Al-Qaeda Mosque fire burns at the same time as flames engulf Notre Dame in the Notre Dame Cathedral, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Now, I don't know if that's just a coincidence. It seems like an odd coincidence, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, guys. I really don't know what's happening. It seems pretty bizarre. Scroll back to Duty Blue. Hold on. I'm scrolling back. All right, I'm back here, guys. Let me scroll back to Duty Blue. Just DM'd you the link. All right, let me look. Let me look. Yeah, I was just on this. Hold on.
Second slow. And senses.
Hold on, Dylan. I want to see this.
The Jaguar F-Type.
and big savings. Hyundai, the longer you look. Drive home your new Kona now for just
One
$189 a
second.
month. Or with up to 12
Yeah, but I can't play the stuff from Newsweek because there's copyrighted music that goes with it. Just want to listen. That was me. I muted you here. I muted you. Stop telling me when I'm doing a live to stop what I'm talking about. And you won't get muted. All right, so I got to do a little looking into this because on Newsweek they always play stuff that has music attached to it. So when there's music attached to it, I always get a copyright strike. So I don't want that to happen. T. Marie, hello Dutyron and chat. Devastating to see what has happened in Paris. Born and raised a Roman Catholic, and it's devastating to my faith, my religion. I'm glad my grandmother isn't here to see this. There you go. My grandmother would have freaked out. Sarah, we're hoping that's not the case. Duty Blue, thank you for sharing that with me. It's just I can't utilize Newsweek stuff because the last 2 times I utilized it, there's been music attached to their stuff. Hi, Lenny. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. So the last 2 times I used Newsweek feeds, I got a copyright, just a warning, a copyright notice. So it's a pain in the ass. I don't want that to happen. So I'm not going to use that link. But I'm going to review it and then use it in my live again tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to talk more about it. I'm going to talk more about it with more information as it becomes available. Thank you for sending me the links, Duty Blue. I appreciate that. Well, don't say I'm stupid and I will understand them. The messages, I'm in the middle of conversating and you're telling me to stop talking. You told me just stop it or shut up or whatever. This is something ridiculous. You just throw me so awful. You throw me so out of whack. It's just not even funny. So anyways, Duty Blue is sending me a bunch of car found packed with gas canisters near Notre Dame. Now that I want to hear. Let's just see. Whoa. Holy shit. Let me get that up, Duty Blue. Is that a video or is that a... I'm going to read this. Okay. This is coming out of news, a CBS News, okay? Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Ron, do you think it was deliberate? I do. Yes, Lenny, I do. But I don't know for a fact it is. So I don't know for a fact, okay? It is Tuesday early in the morning in France. So here, I'm going to read this. This is coming over to CBS News Wire. Car found packed with gas canisters near Notre Dame. This is updated. Wait a minute. This is Duty Blue. This is old. This is old news, though. This was updated on September 7th, 2016. Dylan, this is an old one. This is an old report right here. I see the date on here says September 7th, 2016. Duty Blue. You see the date on that? Yeah, this is old. This is from 2016. All right, so let me thank you, Duty Blue. Thank you for looking that up anyways. But this is something that interesting for me to look into this because this happened in the past. It's an article in 2016, but they found a car parked right outside of Notre Dame with several gas canisters, and pages were written in Arabic inside. So this is something that's interested in past maybe attempts. There may have been past attempts on Notre Dame. So I always look at everything that I'm ready to put out, and that's why I don't like to do stuff. I don't like to do stuff on the fly. But Duty Blue, you are a good friend, and I know that your intentions were good. So we're going to leave that alone. Here's a current one from Duty Blue. This one's current, and he swears by this one. I'm on it, Linda. I'm on it, guys. I'm on it. I'm on it. There you go. Okay. Yeah, but Duty Blue, this is the same writing that was taken off the CBS 2 article. Let me talk about this on a next live so I have time to study and do some due diligence on this. All right, I'm not going to talk about that right now because that's the same exact wording that I read from the 2016 article, Duty Blue. The very first opening statements on this were from that 2016 article. So this is how misinformation. Okay, Duty Blue, I'm going to show you. This is not current because at the top of this article right here, there's a note right here. It says, note. This article was from September 2016. Okay, I'm going to read it to you without you guys seeing it. It says, note on this. See, this is why you got to be careful about what you put out, guys. Thank you for praying. Good night, Frank. Note, this article is from September 2016. I know it's old, but I'm just trying to bring to light what has happened in the past. Pretty much, this is, as soon as I started reading it, I knew that this was a reprint. And I never heard of this news network, Financial Survival Network. Let's just leave it alone, guys. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for sending me the articles, but I'm going to wait until my next live to get this stuff out. So guys, let's see. Exactly. It's part of my detective work, guys. It's part of what I do as a detective. I love and respect my friends. Duty Blue is a great guy, and he has got good intentions. So that was not sent malicious or anything like that. He's sending me info that he's looking at real quick. And it's okay, guys, but I just don't like to put stuff out there unless I've done my due diligence on it. So in the past, there has been, in 2016, prior attempts that were thwarted, that were caught by authorities. Apparently there was a car with multiple cans of gas out in front of Notre Dame in 2016. That's what this article talks about. It has nothing to do with, what happened current event today or yesterday in France. It's now a new day. It is on the 16th of April in France. We will wait till I talk to Naboul, and we will talk to everybody about what's going on. Hello, Mary London. Thank you for joining. So guys, again, a couple of things. If you guys don't mind, please give my video a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you like what you saw. I really, really appreciate you guys subscribing, and I appreciate everyone supporting all the good content creators out there. Thank you, Nick. I definitely do want to know what the France news networks are reporting because it's important to me. It's important to me, guys. It's important to me. I wish that I can have you call into my channel. I wish that I can have you call in. I don't have that feature yet available to me, but there was one other thing that I wanted to play for you guys real quick. Let me pull this up. This is an article about the assistant deputy mayor. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me get this up. Hold on a second. Stand by.
And this is our Western edition. We begin tonight in Paris, where one of the world's most historic landmarks is...
This is it, right here. Hold on, guys. Let me get this up.
This is a CBS News special report.
To be done very quickly and special to people, and it's known around. What is still standing are the two towers in the front.
Oh, here it is.
Twin.
This is what I want you guys to hear. This is the one I want you guys to hear. Hold on a second. Hold on, let me show you this. Hold on, let me stop this. All right, let's watch this. This is just a couple of minutes. This is a couple of minutes. This is the assistant mayor, the deputy mayor of France, and I want you to hear what he says. I want you to hear what he says to this news reporter at the end of this clip. So guys, pay attention to this. This is the assistant deputy mayor of France talking to a CBS News female affiliate, female. So let me let you guys listen to what he says here.
Floor in New York, and we are following an awful situation in Paris at this hour. The historic Notre Dame Cathedral is burning. The spire has collapsed. Flames burst through the roof just a short time ago. We've been watching this giant plume of smoke that can be seen all over Paris. The Notre Dame Cathedral, which dates to the 12th century, is one of the most visited landmarks in Paris. Millions visits every year, and now those who are there today have been watching this scene unfold. Once again, the Notre Dame Cathedral on fire. Part of it has collapsed in Paris. Our Elaine Cobb is in Paris at this hour. Elaine, what do we know?
Jeff, the fire took hold really rapidly. The first flames soon developed into a massive blaze. The wooden structure of the roof is what has helped it go down so quickly, and the steeple, the spire, has just collapsed. There's 13th century wood in there, and as well, the cathedral has been under renovation, so a lot of materials and a lot of equipment relating to that in the church as well. And there have been some suggestions that it may have contributed to the blaze. At this stage, the firefighters say they do not know what caused it. They are trying to contain the fire, but at this stage, it looks like the fire is winning.
It certainly does. Unfortunately, Notre Dame was undergoing a €6 million or $6.8 million renovation project, as you mentioned, Elaine, in part there. And because a lot of this wood and a lot of the material is so old, it's certainly presenting more challenges for firefighters as we watch this scene continue to unfold. Elaine, what do we know right now about who may or may not have been in the cathedral at the time?
It's unclear at this stage if there was anybody inside. It is quite likely that there were workers inside involved in the renovations. There are usually visitors also within the church itself. They would have been evacuated right away, though.
All right, let's also keep in mind that this fire comes at the beginning of Holy Week.
T. Marie, I'll talk to you about that as soon as this is done.
Elaine, I'm not sure exactly what images you're looking at right now, but not seeing water being poured onto these flames right now, which does not appear to have gotten any better at all. And we mentioned that giant plume of smoke, which can be seen all over Paris at this hour. Elaine, you live there. Talk a little bit about the area and the neighborhood and the construction that's been ongoing there.
Jeff, the cathedral is in the heart of Paris, both literally and figuratively. It's on the island, the Ile de la Cité, right in the center, and it attracts millions of visitors, but it's also a very special symbol for Parisians. You can see the spire, or you used to be able to, and it's also exactly where point zero for France is. Right in front of the cathedral is where everything is measured to the rest of the country. Now, it's in a very built-up area because it's residential. It's the heart of Paris. There are cafes and restaurants that will have made it very difficult for the firefighters to get near. Is that why they haven't been using water yet? That's unclear. They have been trying to put up ladders to get higher and high enough, but with the blaze taking over so much of the building so quickly, they may be just afraid to go too near.
Look at these pictures. So you've been re-racking this. You've been looking at the terrible to look at the spire as it collapsed there on Notre Dame. This happened just a short time ago. No effort, or at least no progress as far as we can tell, in containing The mayor in Paris is asking people to stay as far back as possible. I think we have another eyewitness, actually a CBS employee on the scene, Dennis Wilkins. Dennis, are you with us?
I am.
Dennis, where are you and what are you seeing?
I'm on a hilltop in the Latin Quarter near the Pantheon at the intersection of Rue Con and I'm at a cafe with my family, and we're looking on the burning still now of Notre Dame, where we had spent yesterday. And the steeple was still standing when we arrived on the block, and in flames. It went from white into a kind of a golden hue, and there were black clouds as well. And it burned and burned, and there was a stunned disbelief, and then it turned to utter sadness. We had crowds around me, the Pantheon is behind me, people crying, and we watched the steeple fall. It was just incredibly tragic, and it's an amazing scene. It's very emotional here. People are...
How many buildings, how many shops, how many people, how many blocks are we talking about?
Ooh, well, the Ile de la Cité has, in fact, a church. The courthouse is just across the road. It, however, is far enough that it should be all right. But there's a hospital just beside the church. It's just one block that has fallen off the building.
As you point out, it was crumbling. Anybody who visited Paris could easily see that. But this has been a big point of discussion in Paris for quite some time, Elaine, about what to do about Notre Dame, the buildings and the island itself.
Well, what they're seeing right now is just flames. We've been told that the entire structure is on fire. It's not just the roof, it is the entire church. And don't forget, as well as the wood in the structure itself, there are all the wooden pews. There is the wood involved in there are wall hangings, there are separation areas, where the choir sits, all of that is wooden. There is just so much wood in there to go on fire. There are also tapestries and artworks, and it's just highly flammable. The church itself it's a thing of beauty, or was, and people would visit. It was always on people's lists of things to see in Paris because it's at the heart of the city, both geographically and emotionally. It's
side of the Seine, and I think what's so emotional right now is I can hear people in the streets singing. They're singing and praying and watching this billowing fire continue to persist, and now within the belly of the church. This has been going on for a few hours now, at least 2 hours.
Katina.
My husband and I, we were walking around this beautiful city, and we see this billowing of yellow, dark smoke, and we're like, what could that possibly be? We start moving more towards the direction of our area.
Hearing what you're saying about what people are doing right now, that singing on the streets, that praying, that hoping that something changes here after this awful afternoon in Paris.
Arriving, I asked one of the bystanders, and he explained to me that this was the loss of a symbol, of Christianity in Europe. And although it might be rebuilt, this is what we were witnessing as we speak.
Tony, talk about the work that is. I know the entire island now has been cleared out. Does it look as though people are still leaving, and how far back are they keeping people right now?
New York, can you hear me?
Yes, Tony, we hear you. Go ahead.
New York, can you hear me?
Okay. Guys, there's some connection issues there, I think. So I'd like to go back to Elaine, if we could, for just a quick moment. Elaine Cobb on the scene for us as well in Paris. What else do you know, Elaine?
Jeff, the deputy mayor of Paris has said that Notre Dame has suffered colossal damages, and it seems that the main thrust of work of the firefighters now is to try to save any artworks that they possibly can inside the church. The whole roof, the whole main area is down. What is still standing are the two towers in the front, those twin square towers, and some of the very back of the church, which faces onto the river at the back of the Ile de la Cité. But the entire center, the top half at least, is gone, and the fire now inside the structure, and therefore hitting all of the pews, all of the wooden artworks, all of the wooden framing inside the building, because of course it's a very large cathedral, and it's in that traditional form with, they've got a wooden raised area surrounded by wooden panels for the choir and for the priests and for smaller services. So an awful lot of wood inside to catch fire and to spread the fire.
All right, Elaine, thank you very much. And as the sun continues to set here in Paris, it's going to create a sensational and tragic scene in the sky as the flames continue moving up into the air and as firefighters continue to do their work. To update you now on what has been happening and what you've been watching transpire here,
individuals, including in the U.S., hoping to get word due to wrap up later, would visit the church on Easter week or around Christmas for carol singing for services.
Vacation, and we are on the balcony of an Airbnb that we're staying at, and what we're looking at, unbelievable.
Well, we get one sense of it here watching on television, but
as we speak.
Tony, talk about the
that they possibly can inside the church. The whole roof, the whole main area is down. What is still standing are the two towers in the front.
Remains safe. The good news at this hour, what we've been told by police at this point, is that no one has died here, and they say right now they have no reports of injuries after this fire started at Notre Dame Cathedral, even though it has been terribly destructive, and the history that has been taken down here in the span of just a couple hours here this afternoon, our time, evening, Paris time, as we're just past 8 o'clock. Ian Lee remains in our London bureau. Ian, what are you hearing?
Yeah, it really is that latest information we're hearing from the church spokesman that, sadly, nothing they expect is likely to remain, at least nothing that isn't stone. You can see that frame there, the tall towers, stone towers, those haven't been affected yet, or it doesn't look like it, but the rest of the building has been completely destroyed. You see that skeleton, really, of the roof. That is all that is left. And again, quite fortunate so far. Sort of flame and heat could destroy that very quickly. You also have the statues of the 28 kings of Israel.
From this devastating fire, as you see a helicopter. Again, these are images from earlier. It hasn't appeared as though
4 hours a day. Go to cbsnews.com.
Seen in the sky as the flames continue moving up into the air and as firefighters continue to do their work. To update you now on what has been happening and what you've been watching transpire here, Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris has been largely destroyed today by flames that broke out during a massive renovation project. Notre Dame dates back to the 12th century. It is the most visited landmark in Paris. It is one of the most famous churches. It is one of the most famous landmarks in the world. Within the last hour, the spire of Notre Dame collapsed. The roof of Notre Dame, most of the roof of Notre Dame has collapsed. We are still watching all of these pictures come in from Paris as a spokesperson, unfortunately, from the Notre Dame Cathedral tells us everything is burning. We are going to have much more on your local news on this CBS station on this fire in Paris.
Now to CBS News radio correspondent Bill Rakoff.
For areas of those walls to have been weakened, and I'm not talking about necessarily a complete collapse, but you have to watch out for pieces of those walls, and even if it's just a small piece with that stone, it could be deadly.
Bill Rakoff, CBS News radio correspondent and volunteer fire.
Going to be tragic.
Oh, and it would be far too difficult or dangerous to send, firefighters into that situation, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I recall in my hometown in the city of Pittsburgh a few years ago, they had a large church with a bell tower catch on fire, and much the same way, the roof burned off. It went down.
I'm going to turn now to CBS News radio correspondent Bill Rakoff, who joins us on the phone. He's been a volunteer firefighter for the past 30 years. Bill, can you give us some insight into what these firefighters...
And this is our Western edition. We begin tonight in Paris, where one of the world's most historic landmarks is burning. A devastating fire has swept through Notre Dame, the cathedral visited by 13...
The beating heart of Paris, and seeing it like an open heart on the...
There's a risk to the whole cathedral falling down.
Pull up on the scene of a fire, you know, the die is already cast before you can even go to work.
As crowds gathered on the sidewalk, the iconic spire collapsed inside the cathedral. Over the hours, one of the most visited sites in Paris was reduced to a charred skeleton. A cathedral spokesperson said the entire interior was burning.
Notre Dame is not just a building, it's the beating heart of Paris, and seeing it like an open heart on the medical table, it's heartbreaking.
Notre Dame has towered over Paris for 8 centuries, and renovations were underway to shore up its crumbling structure. We had a rare look last year at the disrepair.
Here, what the wooden railing, which has been put to replace the original railing which was here.
Years of rain, snow, and pollution were eroding the flying buttresses that prop the cathedral up. Therefore, there's a risk to the whole cathedral falling down.
This is from 2018.
Authorities are now looking into whether those refurbishments may have caused the fire, as the city mourns the loss of one of its greatest symbols. And some good news, Jeff. Authorities here now believe they've been able to save the cathedral's 2 iconic towers behind me. The fire happened close to closing time when most of the cathedral's 30,000 daily visitors had already left, so it could have been much worse. Jeff?
Interesting thing to keep in mind, but good they saved part of it there. Roxana, thank you very much.
Anyways, guys, so that's pretty much it. I don't think there's much more to talk about. I wanted to try to advance forward to, there was a clip that I had saved on my browser of the deputy mayor, and he was talking about, he was talking about some other things that I wanted you to hear. So I'm going to wait until tomorrow when more stuff comes out. I'm going to talk with our great friend Naboul from France. I'm going to get him on the phone and see if he's available for conversation. See if he's available. So, maybe I'll get a little additional information from Naboul on the facts that are out and that what he's hearing out on the ground down there. So it is terrible. This is a horrible situation going on, but we too have to be strong and move forward, and we have to show the world, show whoever is responsible for this, if in fact it wasn't an accident, that we're not going to make this stop our way of life. It's happened in France, it's happening across the world, so we're going to do the best that we can to keep our heads up high and to move forward, so thank you, T. Marie. Thank you. I think that here already in New York, the New York City Police Department has raised the threat level against houses of worship. There are more police officers outside Catholic churches, all different houses of worship. So our mayor and the city of New York, immediately when something like this happens, our threat level goes up. You're welcome, Andrea. You're welcome. So don't let this, obviously this is a sad situation, don't let this get you down, because when you let this get you down, then the people who commit these heinous acts, then they win. So again, guys, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. to my channel. Anyone who's given Super Chat, send me an email at dutyron@aol.com. I didn't see any, but I might have missed some of it. So if anyone has given Super Chat, please send me a message and I will send you a thank you. To all of my Patreon supporters, I say thank you for supporting my channel. To all my great friends who come on here and positively interact with each other, I greatly appreciate you guys too. So much love and respect from Dutyron. I'm going to close by saying, guys, be kind to one another. Be tolerant of all different faiths, religions, sexual orientations. Be kind to fellow man and womankind. It always costs us nothing to extend a hand and say thank you, to open up a door, hold the door, say thank you and please. All of those things are free. Those are all free things. So guys, much love and respect from Dutyron, and I will speak to you tomorrow. If there's any updates, I will go live tomorrow. No updates, Joe Schmo, as of now. No updates coming out of France. Nothing updates coming out of France. No workmen at the site at the time of the fire. They had finished for the day. So there you go, Mary. So I don't know. Something smells a little fishy to me. So you're welcome, Janet. Thank you so much. Respect to you too, Matt Sully. Good to see you. Good night, Bridget Parker. Thank you so much. Crystal Silverheart. Auntie Lane, thank you for hanging in there. Cinnamon Hot Hot, thank you so much, guys. Love and respect from Dutyron. Auntie Lane, I sent you an email earlier today. Go check your emails. French billionaire family pledges $100 million to rebuild. Awesome. That's great. Darlene, sweet dreams to you too as well. Thank you, Lisa1111. Winky, always love and respect. Linny, good to see you. Good night, everybody from New York City. Peace and love from Dutyron to you guys. Thank you so much. Joey, go subscribe to Joey, BKLYN_67. Let's get him to 1,000. Peace, guys. Thank you.